Welcome to the Lightning Out the Bottle podcast. I am your host, Mr. Leach, and it's so good to be back with you guys talking Charger football. Just made it through the draft, and man, what a draft it was. Fantastic job by our front office, Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, Jesse Mender, the Spanos family, all working together to pull off a fantastic draft. Man, it was a beautiful draft. So what I'm going to do now is just go over the 9 picks that we got, explain the trade that we acquired Arondé Gadsden with, and give an overall grade to what the draft was for me and what they actually did to pull this off. They addressed 8 different positions in this draft, which is amazing to do. With 10 picks, I mean, if you really wanted, you could say that they addressed 9, but they really addressed 8 picks or 8 different positions with this draft. So fantastic draft. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. At the first pick, round 1, pick 22, the Chargers acquire running back out of UNC, Amarian Hampton. Man, this was a wonderful pick. 6 foot, 221 pounds. He's 22 years old. He's a 2-year starter. Over those 2 years, he ran for 3,164 yards and 30 touchdowns. Had 38 games. We had 28 starts, 622 carries, 3,565 yards total. He averaged 5.7 yards per carry, 36 total touchdowns. He had 73 receptions, 635 yards, 8.7 yards average. I mean, he was fantastic with 4 touchdowns. He's a downhill runner. I mean, he can run through tackles, make people miss. This is a face of your franchise type of running back that they acquired with the 22nd pick. So I am so amazed that he actually dropped that far. He's been on all of our radars from the beginning, and nobody actually thought he would drop to 22, and he did. So the Chargers went ahead and took him. I mean, at 22, that's just, the value was through the roof with this guy. All right, he could be a home run hitter. He can catch out of the backfield. He's going to be the lightning to the thunder that's brought by Najee Harris. So that was a great pick by these guys. Now, at pick 55 in the second round, they went ahead and got another playmaker, wide receiver Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. Man, 6'3", 210 pounds. 23-year-old wide receiver with 60 catches last year for 1,030 yards, 17.2 yards per catch, 17 touchdowns with a long of 70 yards. The guy's a smooth route runner. He's a big, physical, punishing wide receiver. He loves punishing DBs. He finds open spaces because of his great route running ability. He's great after the catch vision. His ball tracking is second to none. He moved into position fantastically because, let's be honest, Jackson Dart didn't put him in the best positions a lot of time, but due to his fantastic ball tracking skills, he was able to get over into position and make that catch. So salute to him for a lot of those. This is another one. This is another great pick that you could find at in the round 2 at 55. I didn't have a lot of information on him because I never thought that he would drop to us at 55. He was a wide receiver that I wanted, but I just didn't see him drop it down to 55. But man, he did, and I am so thankful that he did, because now you add a big playmaker to this roster that can help Justin Herbert out down the field. He's a contested catch monster. He makes over 63% of his contested catches, a little bit more, I'm sure. Which is great. I mean, he ran in the 4.5s, I'm sorry. And he, the speed itself is deceptive, right? So his straight line speed and his playing speed are 2 different things. And the man gets open. So that's what we need him to do, get open. He has great hands. So that's something that this team has sorely been lacking, is a receiver that has great hands that can catch the ball. So bringing Trey Harris in and adding him to that wide receiver room, man, that's a win. And that was 2 great playmakers that they drafted immediately off the board. So they actually made a dedicated effort to get Justin Herbert playmakers. And I think they succeeded tremendously with these first 2 picks. Now, round 3, pick 86, we went ahead and addressed the trenches on the other side of the ball and grabbed D tackle out of Oregon, Jamari Caldwell. This was another guy I had my eye on from the beginning. I had him going in the 4th round, but the way them big boys were flying off the board, they really had no choice but to go ahead and grab him in the third round. And I'm so glad that they did. This was a phenomenal pick and so necessary because we had a big issue trying to stop the run. And with Puna Ford gone, that just makes it even bigger hole that we needed to fill. And this guy definitely fills that hole. He's 6'2", 340 pounds, 24 years old. I mean, he's just a huge human being. And he takes up a ton of space. He eats a ton of space. And he's extremely athletic, so he can get to the quarterback. He can bounce outside, too. He doesn't have to play strictly nose tackle. He has the athleticism to bounce to the outside and play a little bit on the edge. So he gives you a ton of versatility on that defensive front. He had 29 tackles, 16 solos, 13 assisted tackles, 3 passes defended, so he's getting his hands up and he's knocking the ball down. He was not able to get any sacks in Oregon, but previously the year before he had 6.5 sacks. So there was a pretty big fall off there, but he had one forced fumble. And his production skyrocketed on the outside, but then he sacrificed his sacks. But I mean, he clogged up the center of the line. He's a run stuffer, and that's what we'll be looking for him to do for us. He's big, physical. He's nasty. He punches at the ball. Again, like I said, he can rush from inside or outside, which is such a big benefit for our team. So great pick there, Jamari Caldwell with pick 86 in round 3. Next, staying with the defensive theme, out of South Carolina, they went ahead and drafted edge rusher Kyle Kennard with round 4, pick 25. There's another guy I had my eye on. Again, I didn't think he would be there when it was time for us to pick in the 4th round. And I thought taking him 3rd was a little bit too high. And after they actually signed Najee Harris and Tyler Conklin, that kind of made me adjust, and Mekhi Becton, that made me adjust where we wanted to go high. So I was focusing on D tackle and D end a lot high because there wasn't anybody in the trenches that would make it to us. But he drops to us in round 4. He's a 6'5", 255-pound, 23-year-old edge rusher with big. He's big. He's physical. He gets after the quarterback. He has fantastic footwork and spin. He uses his hands to gain leverage. I mean, this guy is just he's gonna be very effective for us, and that puts us in a position next season to where when Khalil Mack is talking about retiring again, or they don't want to sign to Bud Dupree or whatever, they already have a second defensive end in there to go with Thule, so they can draft 1 or 2 rookies again next year, or maybe even re-sign Bud Dupree. Khalil Mack, I'm pretty sure, is going to retire after this year. At the very least, he'll retire next year. So you really wanted to have a guy come in that could be on your field for a year, on your team for a year, that can come in, learn the ropes, understand what you want from him, how you want him to play football. And when it's time for him to step on the field, he already has that year under his belt and he's ready to go. So this was a fantastic pick. I'm so happy they were able to get this pick. Kyle Kennard, great player. In the 5th round, they double dipped, man. They double dipped, and this was a steal. You know, I never expected him to be there either, but there was a lot of sliding going on in this draft, a lot of sliding. So he happened to drop to us, and we double dipped at the wide receiver position. So with the 5th pick, or with the 158th pick in round 5, Chargers draft 6'1", 182-pound, 22-year-old Keandre Lambert Smith, wide receiver out of Auburn. This guy is ridiculous. His speed is ridiculous. He runs a 4.37, and it's an effortless 4.37. His top speed, he gets to it with no effort whatsoever. He averaged 19.6 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns, 4 point, he had that 4.37 speed, and like I said, it's effortless for him to get to. He gets open so often because of that speed, and he has great hands. So when he does get open, he's a very dependable receiver. He has great focus and ball tracking. He tends to catch with his hands away from his body, which is so beautiful. Instead of catching the ball with his body and trapping the ball, he actually has the hands that he can stick out, go out and reach, jump at it, catch it at the highest point, which is something that we're very much lacking right now. So now you have a deep threat receiver that can go up, catch the ball with his hands. And with that speed, you would expect most of his yardage to come off deep routes, but they don't. He actually loves running the hitch route. So he sells that deep route very well, brings it back into a hitch route fantastically. So that's his favorite thing to do. And I think he's going to just get a ton of targets his way with Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert wants to throw that deep ball, but he also wants to throw that hitch under route. So this was the perfect pick to add. And plus, you double dip. So now you have your future at wide receiver on your team right now. You have three very, very good wide receivers that are young. Lad in his second year, and these two gentlemen coming in on their first year. You bring Mike Williams back so he can coach you. Now, QJ, you don't have to stress over him actually being on the field if he don't got to be. They may move him down the line. Maybe he takes a big jump. We don't know. But that does put us in a position to where we're not dependent on him to make big plays because he's shown us in the past that that's at best a 50-50 chance that he'll come through with that play. So this was a great pick and a great time to double dip. I knew we would double dip at a position. I just wasn't sure which one it was going to be. Wide receiver is a great one because they did make the promise saying they were going to commit resources to helping Justin Herbert and that they failed him last year. So this was a great step in the right direction, adding that second wide receiver in the draft. Now, with the next pick, we actually traded that pick away to the Eagles, and we had to because tight ends were coming off the board at lightning speed, and one of the last opportunities to get a tight end was coming up very fast, but we were about 40 picks back. Or I'm sorry, we were about 20. No. We're about 16 picks back because we traded the 181 pick and the pick 209 to get up in the fifth round, which is 165. So we traded away two of our 4 6 round picks to get that 165th pick. And it was a great trade. It was a great trade for us to get a tight end. And with that pick, we took a Rondé Gatson tight end out of Syracuse. 6'5", 236 pounds, 21 years old. He had 73 receptions for 934 yards. He averaged 12.8 yards per carry on 7 touchdowns and a 34 yard long catch. He had one carry for 12 yards. He runs a 4.65 40. He's extremely productive. He's a big wide receiving type of tight end that you can move all around the field. He's very athletic, has long arms, big hands. He could become a comfort target for Justin. He could become Justin's comfort target. I mean, this kid finds open spaces like it's nobody's business. He's very physical. He'll fight for those yards. He just finds a way to make himself a target for the ball, as you can see with those 73 catches. This was a great pick. It was a necessary pick, but it was also a pick that was very, very good. You could get into a situation where you have to pick a player, but he's not the best player. This was a guy that everybody was high on, especially for being this late in the draft, knowing that you could get this guy and you could put him on the field and he would do damage. And we're in a position right now where he doesn't have to start since we have Conklin, Disley, we still have Tucker Fisk. So those guys can't come out and be on the field while he takes a year to learn. And you sprinkle him in here, there, and if he's ready to go, you put him in as much as possible. But he's not in a position right now with the Chargers to where he has to get on the field. So I think that's a great position for him to be in. He could come in, he could refine his routes. He already runs pretty decent routes, but on the NFL level, he'll be able to refine those routes and get a little bit stronger and maybe get just a little bit faster. And he's definitely going to be trouble for some players in the AFC West for years to come. So that was a great pick at 165. Even trading up, giving up an extra pick to get this guy, it was definitely worth it, I think. At the 199 pick in the 6th round, they went ahead and addressed the offensive line, and they got tackle/guard Branson Taylor. He's 6'6", 330 pounds, 23-year-old massive human being. I mean, he's massive. This dude moves people off the point of attack with no problem. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's physical. He should have never slipped. The only reason he slipped last year is because he missed last year, 6 games last year with a knee injury. He's just coming off of the surgery. He says he's back to 100%. The doctors evaluated him. They said that he was good to rock and roll. So he had a 4th-round grade on him, if I believe. I do believe he did have a 4th-round grade on him, and we were able to get him in the 6th round. So this could definitely be a huge steal, especially if they're doing what I think they're going to do and move him inside to guard, which that would be fantastic because we definitely need a guard. We didn't address the offensive line any other way in this draft, which was kind of concerning to me. But we were able to get Branson Taylor, and he's a phenomenal lineman. He's a phenomenal lineman. Had it not been for that injury, he would have went earlier in this draft, I have no doubt. But because of the injury and the knee surgery, that shied people away. He wasn't able to perform at the combine. But he did have a pretty solid pro day, and that's what was able to get him drafted. So thank you to us for recognizing that you could get a steal like this coming off an injury, and they're not taking a big risk with a 6th round pick, especially 199 in the 6th round. So that's not a big risk to get a guy like that. And if you got to take a flyer on somebody, you might as well take a flyer on a great lineman, I think. Good pick right there. Now, at pick 214 in round six, one of my sleeper picks, safety out of Clemson, R.J. Mickens. Man, I can't say enough about this guy. This guy is a young stud. I love this player right here. 6 foot, 210 pounds, runs a 4.49 40. He's 23 years old. He has 76 tackles. 44 of those tackles were solo tackles. He had 32 assists, 7 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. He's an aggressive tackler with great wrap-up technique. He always got his nose somewhere near the ball. He's sticking his face in the pile. I mean, he is always around the ball. Always around the ball. He's a downhill safety. He's coming for quarterbacks. He's coming for running backs and run support. I mean, this guy right here is a ball hawking tackler. He's not necessarily an interception machine. He only had 2 interceptions last year, but I promise you, when the ball comes down, he's going to be somewhere around that ball trying to make a tackle, trying to knock the ball down. 7 passes defended lets you know that he has great hand skills when it comes to smacking the ball down or getting his hands up. So to grab that guy late in the 6th round, I mean, that was a phenomenal pick. That was a phenomenal pick. And you add him to a safety room that already has Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, and Elijah Molden, and a few other guys, but he's going to definitely come in and he's going to make some noise. He's going to allow Derwin to be moved up and all around. He plays very similar to Derwin, very similar to Derwin. So he could actually come in and learn Derwin's position. He could be the shadower for Derwin. So, when Derwin actually needs a break, or we want to take him out early if we're getting closer to the end of the season, we want to save him a little bit. This is a guy that you can stick in there, and he plays almost exactly like Derwin James. He definitely does need to get a little bit stronger coming into the NFL if he wants to be a Derwin James type of player. But as far as what he brings to the table and the style of play that he has, he plays exactly like Derwin James. So I was extremely happy when I saw them get this pick. They did take a lot of my guys, which made me very, very happy in this draft. They took a lot of my guys. So I was extremely happy with this draft and the way they drafted and the way they had drafted. They addressed every position the way they needed to. Yeah, it was great. It was phenomenal. I was so proud of those guys for that. Last but not least, we went ahead and grabbed cornerback out of Oregon, Triquez Bridges. 6'2", 196 pounds, pass rushing corner. He has 69 tackles, 38 solo tackles, 31 assists, 5 passes deflected, 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 4 yards. He spent 4 years at Oregon, then a 5th year at Florida State, and he exploded in the SEC. I mean, he exploded in the SEC. He's a big, physical, nasty quarterback who loves to just get up and press wide receivers. He runs a 4.45 40, 40-inch long arms. I'm sorry. He has long arms. He's great hand placement. He's aggressive. Big corner that can knock receivers out of rhythm. I actually knew nothing about Triquez Bridges, and there's not a lot on him as far as YouTube goes or any clips that you can actually see him playing. But when you look at his stats and you look at his attributes, this is a hardball guy through and through. I mean, he's big, he's fast, he's nasty, he's in your face. Jesse Minter loves to play defense, zone defense, but this is a press corner. So that leads me to believe that they want to get into playing some man coverage and getting up, being physical with wide receivers, knocking them off their square, not allowing them to just run free. That's what this guy is. And with the 7th pick, I think this is actually going to be a steal. I mean, like I said, I really don't know a ton about him, but just from what I have read about him and knowing that they spent the draft pick on this kid, that lets me know that they really believe in him and what he can do. I believe my corner pick was Bilal Cohn, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he went to the Ravens. I believe that's who my corner pick was. I'm not 100% sure. One of you guys can correct me on that. But I'm pretty sure that's who I took. But Triquez Bridges is definitely looking like he could be a fantastic player. So that was a great pick too. So there you go. We had 9 different picks after we traded away that extra pick to get a Rondé Gadsden. Like I said, they filled eight positions. They filled running back, wide receiver, D tackle, D end, tight end, tackle, safety, and they also addressed the cornerback position. So with double dipping and wide receiver, they gave Justin Herbert 4 weapons. They gave him a running back and Omarion Hampton. They gave him Harris, and they gave him Keandre Lambert-Smith, and they also gave him Oronde Gadsden. So now he has all the weapons that he needs. When you add Lad McConkey in there, Tyler Conklin in there, Najee Harris in there, Mike Williams in there. So you still have a ton of weapons. QJ, we'll see what happens with him, but he could develop into a weapon, so we'll see. But now this offense is loaded. It's stacked and it's ready to go. You understand what I'm saying? So this was a very, very great draft, and they were able to still grab 4 defensive players to help Jesse Minder's side of the ball too. Kudos to that front office, man. They did a wonderful job, and at being patient and being diligent and grabbing guys that we were going to need. So yeah, I can't say enough about how good they did in this draft. So that was absolutely fantastic. And a big shout out to the Chargers social media team for getting all the stuff up quick, clips and videos of these guys so we can take a look at them and see them. They do a fantastic job all the way around. I think we have the best social media team in the NFL. So big kudos to the Chargers social media team. Well, that's all that I have for you guys today. Thanks for joining me on the Lightning Out the Bottle podcast. If you're still here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you push that bell notification, and remember, always bolt up. Lightning out the bottle, baby. Let's go!